You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith. Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Monday, April 4th, 2022. Today is also the 5th week of Lent. And so we will be carrying on our Lenten series where we are looking at the 7 deadly sins. We have already talked about anger, envy, pride, gluttony, and sloth. This week, we will be talking about greed. Now, greed is one of the more understandable sins. We can see and identify greed all around us in the world. And I bet that you already know what greed is. Greed is when we love things of this world too much. We oftentimes think about greed with money. And people love money too much. When they want more and more and more money. We also oftentimes think that the only people that are greedy are the very, very rich. Although a rich person certainly can be greedy, a person who's poor can still be greedy. Because greed has to do with just the way that we think about possessions and money. How we get money, why we want more possessions and more money, and what we do with them once we have them. Remember, you can be very rich and also very, very generous. There's people in this world that have tons of money and they give and they are not greedy at all. And there's also people that don't have very much money at all, but they keep it to themselves. They think about it all the time and they fall into the sin of greed. So even if you're out there thinking, well, I don't have very much money, so I'm not greedy. This is a sin that we all can suffer from. The reason why greed is so bad, it's so toxic in our lives, is because it confuses what money and possessions are supposed to be. So tomorrow we're going to talk about why it's a sin, but today we're going to talk about why it's just plain old unhealthy and bad for us. The thing is that money is supposed to be a means to an end. Maybe you've heard that before, a means to an end. Now that means that money is it's a tool. It's something that we need to accomplish something else. It's not the end result itself. Having a big stack of money, well, really, that doesn't do very much for me, right? I can't eat money. I can't cover up with money at the end of the night and stay warm. I can't do anything really with just this paper or this number in a bank account. That is only valuable if I can turn it into a nice house to stay in, or a car that can take me to school, or books that I need to grow intelligence, or whatever it is. Money is something that we use to accomplish what we need. When we focus only on the money, or maybe even when we focus only on the possessions, then we're confused. We're thinking about the wrong things. We're focusing on things that aren't ever going to make us happy. So the same is true with possessions. When I'm only thinking about, I have this brand new nice car. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. I just want to look at it and love it. That's strange, isn't it? Because the car is once again a means to an end. The car is how I get to places, how I get to school to become smarter, how I go visit my family members, or how I go to places and help serve the poor. So the car itself isn't that big of a deal. It's a means to an end. So that's why focusing on money and possessions is just unhealthy. Tomorrow we're going to talk about why it is a sin, the sin of greed. But for today, I want you to do just a little bit of mental inventory. How much time do you spend thinking about possessions that you have? possessions you want to have, how much money you have, how much money you want to have, because we need to be careful that we don't spend too much time thinking and obsessing about those things, because that is how we fall into the sin of greed. So just spend some time thinking about that and wondering if you need to make some changes, if you need to bring this to God or bring this to the confessional to try to start again and do better. That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be. Just one more thing, if you are doing some Easter basket prep, we encourage you to come and shop the Catholic Sprouts store. It's a great, great way to support this podcast and also to get some fun Catholic goodies for the kids that you love. Our favorite to be included in the Easter basket is the Adoration board book for little ones, or the book of Catholic saint patterns for perler beater cross stitch for older kids. You can find direct links to both of these books in the notes for this podcast episode.
This show is a production of the Spoke Street Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.